April 12th, 2018. From El Cajon, California, this is episode 151 of You Can Bet On That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet On That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. My name is Mark Duvall, and sitting across from me is Dr. Mike.
Hello.
All right, Mike, welcome back from Las Vegas. Let's just jump right into it and let us know how your very quick turnaround trip went.
Well, it was very quick. I got there early Saturday morning, and I left very early Sunday morning.
Yeah, it was just to get a Home Depot gift card?
Yeah,
was that the incentive?
I had a Home Depot gift card. It was a significant amount.
Right. Well, yeah, make it worth your time.
Yeah, it was definitely worth my time.
Okay,
it was definitely worth the plane flight. It was a lot of Home Depot money.
Okay, good.
Which came out great. The giveaway was from 1 to 5. I got there like 20 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the booth and there was some ladies there and I thought, oh gosh. And the lady saw me looking and she said, oh, come on over. And she just gave me my cards
good.
right then.
Yeah, good.
So that was nice.
Yeah.
But as far as the gambling went, it was kind of choppy. It wasn't terrible and it wasn't good.
All right. Now, when you got there pretty early, didn't you?
Yes.
Like at 8, 9 in the morning, something like that?
I got there like at 8:15 or something.
Okay.
By the time I got to the casino, it was like 8:15.
So did you have to wait to check in then?
No.
Since you're there so early?
This is funny. I went and I came in and I thought, well, the Diamond 7-star check-in's not going to be open yet.
And this is at Harrah's, right?
This is at Harrah's, right? But I walked in the door, it's in the back there, and I noticed it was open.
Okay.
I saw someone go in. So I went in and I went to the counter. I said, I'm checking in. Okay. And he says, oh, we have a room ready for you.
That's good. Well, it's going to be open because maybe people are checking out.
Yeah, but I mean, usually housekeeping doesn't clean them. And
I am a little surprised you got a room, but I'm saying I'm not surprised the Diamond check-in was open.
Well, I just assumed it opened at 9.
Well, but people check out earlier than that.
I know, but
all right. Well, anyway,
there's the main desk because I've done that before.
Sure.
Well, actually, on Sunday when I left so early. I checked out at the main desk.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing open.
Yeah, you were
at 5:30 a.m. or 5 a.m. whatever it was.
All right, go ahead.
But they had a room ready, and she said, "Oh, it's all clean and everything." So evidently nobody had stayed there the night before.
Right, because this is a Saturday morning, right?
Saturday morning. So it was great. I went up to the room and, put my bag down and headed right down to the craps table.
Good, okay.
So I think by 8:40 or something, I was on the table.
Good.
And it went well. The craps was actually pretty good. Early that morning, shortly, listener Mark stopped by.
Mm-hmm.
And he came up and stood next to me. And I don't know if he knew who I was.
Okay.
Yet.
He wanted to hear your voice.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's what he wanted to hear. But anyway, we had, maybe 1 or 2 shooters. And then he turned to me and said, I think I maybe owe you a well drink.
There you go. Okay. That's the new greeting.
Yeah, that's the new greeting. So anyway, he's from, I think, the Boston area.
Mm-hmm.
And he was there with a buddy of his and I think some other people. But anyway, it didn't go real great, but it didn't go terribly bad.
Now, what side bets do they have at Harrah's now?
At Harrah's, they have all tall, all small on some of the tables, and they have repeater on some of the tables.
Okay. Good.
So that early in the morning, there were 2 tables open. The one that had space when I got there was the repeater. Mm-hmm. So I was playing the repeater. Mm-hmm. And when Mark left, we were both down. It wasn't going all that well. Okay. I started off great. Mm-hmm. I got to the table and I bet my repeater bets. Yeah. I rolled 3 11s in a row.
Right off the bat. Oh, good.
I was the only one on the table.
Good. Okay.
11, 11, 11.
And that
I win
pays
the repeater. Yeah, that pays the repeater. And so I got off to a good start and my roll was actually very good. Then my second roll was not so good. And then a couple people came. And anyway, the table kind of got chilly. So eventually, Mark was going to leave. He left. And I moved over to the other table, which now had space. And that was the all tall, all small. Mm-hmm. And I think it was the second or third shooter, a woman hit them all.
Oh, nice.
Hit them
That's
all.
A good way to start your trip. Yeah.
Got me all the way back to even.
Sure.
And then I replaced it. And she almost hit them all again.
Really?
I mean, she had...
Did she hit the small or the tall?
No, the first round she hit...
Yeah, but I mean, when you say...
Tall. No.
Oh, okay.
But she had 1 on each of them.
Oh.
And it wasn't like the 2 and the 12. It was like a 5 and a 9 or something.
Okay.
So she was that close. She made her point and then 7'd on the come out.
Oh, on the come out, yeah.
So he lost it all. And then she got all the way back again to where she was within 1 on each of them.
Oh, boy.
And I thought, just make one of them again, right?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, my God, this woman rolled forever. Well, anyway, by the time her roll ended, I was up a couple thousand.
Good, nice.
So I got all my money back, plus I was up a couple thousand. I was pretty happy.
Sure.
I cashed out. I went and met my host. talked to her for a while, and then went up to the room, and then decided I was going to go down to Planet Hollywood because we've had good luck there in the past.
Mm-hmm.
As I was walking to Planet Hollywood, it was so crowded on the sidewalks, and it was hot, like in the 90s. So I went through Flamingo, and I went through Margaritaville there.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And as I was going, I saw the craps table in Margaritaville, which does have the fire pit.
That's right. That we talked about
And
last time.
it's kind
Yeah.
of a cool layout. It's kind of a neat looking layout. The colors and everything.
Right. Because it's kind of like tropical.
Yeah, it's real colorful.
Yeah.
And there was nobody playing.
Oh.
And I thought to myself, gosh, I should just play here. But I had used my marker at Harrah's. I paid it all back. So all I had in my pocket was my winnings.
Oh, and you don't have a line of credit at
No,
Flamingo.
I don't have a line of credit at Flamingo. And I thought to myself, well, I want to kind of keep these winnings. I'd rather go to Planet Hollywood where I have a line of credit, play with their money.
Okay, yeah.
And see what happens. Big mistake.
Oh.
Ow. I mean, I should have stayed there and played by myself.
Maybe. I mean, you never know, but
I
okay.
never
All
know,
right.
but
Yeah. Okay.
Going to Planet Hollywood did not work out this
All
time.
right,
Yeah,
okay.
it was chilly.
Yeah.
And so when I got there, I, ended up losing. And I was on the repeater table there. And I think at Planet Hollywood, they only have repeater tables.
Oh, that's all they have now is?
Yeah, because I looked around. I did not see.
I guess that was the case last time we were there, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah,
I
you're
think
right.
it's all just repeater is
Yeah.
all they have.
Yeah. Okay.
While I was at Planet Hollywood, Tom from England, another listener, came up.
Oh, nice.
It just picked me out, I guess,
Uh-huh.
and we started chatting. Super nice guy. I think he actually won. I'm not sure. Tom will have to get back to us on that, but he was just making come bets and he did okay.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
It was me getting killed with no repeaters hitting
Sure.
and this and that and everything. But we played for a while and talked a lot of sports. And then he left. I played for a little longer, ended up losing. So I
Okay.
started walking back.
Yeah.
Once again, I should have stopped at Flamingo.
Yeah, you probably
and
should
for some
have.
reason, I just didn't even think about it. I went to Cromwell. Cromwell did not go well.
I think you texted me and said you didn't win a single bet.
No, I did not win a single bet at Cromwell.
Wow.
I was only there for like 3 shooters, not one bet. I was making come bets, just line bet odds, 2 come bets odds.
You're sure?
Did not win one single bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough. And so then I thought, well, I don't want to, now I'm like even for the trip. I didn't want to lose any more there.
Yeah.
So I headed back to Harrah's. And as I was walking, up comes Mark, who had played with me earlier in the morning. And I told him, I said, it didn't go so well over there. And I'm headed back to Harrah's. And we're walking. He's like, I'll go with you. So we're walking back to Harrah's. He was staying at the Link. When we got to the Link, he said, there's this one area of craps tables and there's another one. It's a little raised higher up.
Okay.
And there's one table up there. And he said, that table's been kind of empty all day. You want to go up there? I said, sure. The funny thing is I went to get money. Mark went up there. And the guy who was rolling when I got there, he hit the all tall, all small.
Okay. While you were getting money from the
While
cashier.
I was getting money from the cashier.
Okay, of course.
So Mark was in on it. I don't think he had an all tall, all small bet, but the guy made a lot of points and numbers and stuff and everything. Anyway, he had a very good roll. After that, the rolls weren't terrible. They just weren't that good.
Okay.
So anyway, and then also while we were there, on the other side of the table, there was a gal playing. And as I got ready to go, she came up and introduced herself, Lisa from Rhode Island, who said, I was planning on meeting you guys in Connecticut in 2 weeks.
Oh.
And I will meet you in Connecticut in 2 weeks, but I just happened to be here and I saw Mark tweet that you were here.
Oh, very good.
So so that was funny.
Oh, nice.
And I only talked to her very briefly, seemed like a very nice.
Okay, well, we'll see her then coming up.
We'll see her coming up, hopefully in Connecticut.
Yeah, good.
So then I went back to Harrah's, and by this time it's getting kind of like 5:30, 6 o'clock-ish. I think I played till about 8, and I was on a table with 2 dealers that I know from like when I was 26 years
Well,
old.
gosh, back in the 90s when we used to go to Harrah's all the time,
All the
right?
time, yeah.
Okay.
Toby and Frank.
Uh-huh.
And it was so funny because we're talking and Frank...
They remembered you?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. They immediately when I walked, hey,
Okay,
Mike,
yeah,
how's it
yeah.
going? They walked up and, we were reminiscing about old times. And Frank said, yeah, not too long ago, you were here with your wife. It's when my dad and Lynn and I went.
Mm-hmm.
He said, yeah, I wanted to talk to you about the old times and stuff and everything, but your wife was here and I didn't know if that would be, cool or not.
Yeah, kind of like, when I got married, I didn't tell my wife about all the Vegas trips I made before we met.
Right. And I was like, oh, no, she knows.
Now, that's a good dealer.
Yeah.
All right.
That is a good, that's what I told him. I said, Frank, you're the man. Because, I mean, seriously, he didn't want to get me in trouble.
Yeah, right. You wouldn't have gotten in trouble, because, Lynn knows that you're a gambler. But he didn't know that.
He didn't know that. And so he said, the last time you were here, we were just chatting and everything, but I never wanted to like bring anything up. Is that okay? And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. He said, she's not here now. I'm like, no, she's at home. But it was funny he asked that. But those two guys are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're great dealers.
Yeah.
They're fast and efficient. And, they're probably a little bit younger than me, but back when we were in our late 20s or mid 20s, they were in their early 20s just starting.
Yeah.
And they've worked at Harrah's all this time. They're like the veterans there now.
Yeah.
But excellent dealers.
Yeah, that's great.
Excellent dealers. And, it's funny because you get on a table like that, it's kind of fun.
Yes, exactly.
Even if I didn't know them, it was fun because, they're courteous and they're fast and efficient. Yeah. It just went so smooth.
Good.
But eventually wasn't going so well. And I was like up and down. And then about 8 o'clock, I decided I'm going to go get something to eat. So I went to the buffet and ate, finished eating. It was like 9:30 and I was so tired.
Yeah.
And because I hadn't slept much on Friday night. So I went up to the room thinking, I'll just take a little nap and, come back and play before I go. Never made it back down.
Well, I'm kind of glad to hear that. Not because I think you would have lost, but just you needed the sleep.
Oh,
right?
I needed the sleep big time. I mean, usually the first night I sleep in a hotel, I cannot sleep.
I think with most people,
turn, right? It's terrible. I slept like a baby.
That's great.
I mean, I was out like a light. I'm glad the alarm went off. Well, I set my alarm.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah, and I had the hotel call me.
Okay, good. And you did have to wake up, around 5 something to catch your flight?
I think I got up at 20 till 5.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then I checked out. I took a quick shower and checked out and got to the airport and stuff.
Okay.
So,
all right.
yeah. And came home. Flights were great.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome back. Little trip.
Yeah, it was a little trip, but it was fun. It kind of reminded me of the old days.
Yeah, when we go
just
really
make
quick
trips.
Yeah, real quick.
I will say this. It is kind of boring by yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that Mark and Tom and Lisa were there and it was someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just the dealers and you.
Sure. So. Yeah. Well, we talked about it before. The amount that I was getting for the Home Depot card was not worth me taking a flight with you over there to get it.
Spending a few $100s for a plane ticket. Yeah. And then driving, it's like...
Yeah, driving, that's a whole other thing, right?
You might as well stay the whole weekend, right? If you're going to drive.
Yeah.
But it was worth it and it was nice. And it was so efficient. I mean, everything went good. Yeah.
Good. All right, well, a little while back, listener Jeff wrote to us about a blackjack side bet that he likes to play at his nearby Colorado casinos. And just a side note here, the limit on any single bet in a casino in Colorado is $100.
Yeah.
That's the maximum you can bet. Even if you're playing poker, the most you can raise is $100.
Wow.
You can't go all in if you've got like $1,000 in front of you. It's just every single bet has to be...
So in a no limit Texas Hold'em game, you can't just say I'm all in. You just have to say I'm in for 100.
Yeah, the most you can raise is 100, and then the next person can raise 100. So maybe a betting round you'll have more than $100 in there. But
but how many people are in the hand? So you can get
anyway. The point is the max for any single bet in Colorado, and it's funny because Jeff reminded me I'd forgotten about this prior to 2008. The limit was $5.
$5. So imagine playing no limit Texas Hold'em. Well, I raised $5.
I guess. I mean, think of any game there. That couldn't have been good for the players or the casinos.
Well, you can't
right?
have
It's just
a $6 six.
Yeah, that's right. You can't. I don't know if they had craps back then. I doubt they did.
I doubt they did.
It was probably mostly blackjack, right? Just $5 blackjack.
$5.
So at least it's 100 now.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jeff was telling us about.
Wait a minute. This is a state that has legalized pot.
Yes, sir.
But they won't let you bet more than $100.
That is correct.
You can go and buy as much pot as you want.
Well, I don't know about that, but you can buy it.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm you theoretically probably can buy a lot.
Okay.
I'm sure if you have $1,000, they're going to take it.
I don't know. I don't know anything about the laws there, but okay, make your point.
But you can't bet $120 hard six.
That's true. Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
Oh my God. What is wrong with those people in Colorado? Maybe it's the high air. It is high altitude.
And they're thinking, $100, that's huge.
Yeah,
and then because they're not getting a lot of oxygen.
I'll tell you what they should do.
What's that?
They should put all the casinos in a humidor.
Oh, Like they do the baseball baseballs in Denver.
Yeah. Just put all the casinos in a humidor. Maybe then they'll come to their senses, think properly, and allow, whatever.
All right. Mike's views and expressions do not necessarily reflect those of me.
How about $1,000? Seriously.
Well, if it's 1,000, just why have a limit at all? I mean, I don't know what they're...
casinos have 2,500.
Well, okay, yeah, I guess.
But I mean, so you'd still be lower than most casinos.
I see. If you're right, the max.
But have 1,000 be the max bet.
Yeah, I don't live there. I'm not part of the legislature, so I can't.
We're going to change that.
We are.
Yeah,
that's your big thing. You're going to push for.
That's my big thing. I'm going to push for Colorado. People are like, "Well, he lives in California.
Yeah, why not?" They're going to be thinking. I thought you said you were going to get rid of card craps. So that's a major thing. Nope, I'm going to take care of Colorado first.
Yeah, Colorado needs some fixing.
All right. Well, anyway, Jeff was telling us about this bet that he liked to make. Now, just as an aside, one nice feature about craps is that your wagers can live over multiple rolls of the dice. That it stays out there, right? And the game continues. Whereas with most other casino games, your wager is reconciled after a single event, like a single hand of blackjack or a spin on the roulette wheel, a hand of baccarat, that kind of thing. So the bet that I'm going to talk about is nice because it lives over several hands of blackjack.
Right.
So here's the way it works. It's called the streak side bet. And this side bet allows you to bet that you will win a certain number of blackjack hands in a row. There are actually 4 separate bets you can make. In any combination, you can bet that you'll win 2 in a row. You can bet that you'll win 3 in a row, 4 in a row, 5 in a row. It's actually 4 separate bets.
Okay.
You don't have to make them all. You could make just one of them. Oh, I'm only going to bet on the 4 in a row. Yeah. You could bet on the 2 and 5. You could bet them all, but it's actually 4 separate bets. So anyway, this is kind of a nice side bet that goes across several hands. Now the payouts are different, and again, 4 separate bets. So let's go through the payouts. If you bet on the 2 wins in a row and you win, it pays 3-1. If you bet on the 3 wins in a row and it wins, it pays 8-1. 4 wins in a row pays 18-1, and 5 wins in a row pays 38-1.
Now, is the limit you can bet $100?
It is in Colorado. Yes, nice. Jeff was talking about that. Isn't that funny?
Now that's funny.
You can bet $100 on your blackjack hand,
right?
But then you can bet $100 on each of those individual bets because they're 4 separate bets. Yes,
the blackjack hand where you have a pretty good chance.
That's right.
You can bet 100, but the crappy ones, we'll let you go to 100 on each of those.
Exactly. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, legislature in Colorado.
Yes. Now the house edge on each of the bets. Let's go through that real quick. On the 2 wins in a row, that's the worst. 9.72% house edge.
Just because the payout's so
just
low.
The way the payout is, right? And the chances of hitting it.
So low.
3 wins in a row, 3.49% house edge. 4 wins in a row is actually the best of the 4. It's a 3.20% house edge. Okay. And 5 wins in a row, 5.61% house edge. Yeah. They're all pretty bad bets.
But if you were going to bet that, just bet the 4 in a row.
There you go, right?
That's you get paid when you hit it. You get paid.
It's 18-1
to what you deserve.
So if that's kind of fun for you, you can go ahead and do that. Okay. Now, just a couple of other things here too. What if you push a hand? So you don't win or lose.
Right, which happens a lot in blackjack.
A push is as if it wasn't even a hand. You don't win or lose.
Good.
So it just, wherever you were at, like, you've had 2 in a row, and then you have a push hand. Okay, you're still at 2 in a row.
Okay.
What if you split?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about splitting.
If you split, you have to win the majority of your splits for that hand to get a new win.
A majority.
So let's say you just split into 2 hands. Right. You won one and you lost the other. That's like a push.
Right, okay, all right, I got you.
But if let's say you ended up splitting into 3 hands, you lose 1 and you win 2, that's like a win.
Yeah.
So that'll increase. And conversely, if you lost 2 and you won only 1, then you lose the bet.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So
now, what about double downing? Do you have to do anything to your?
There's nothing. You have to win the double down. So there's nothing special about double downing. You still have to win the hand.
You don't have to increase your bet on your.
No, there's nothing. Yeah, it just plays out. If you win it, it counts as a win towards these bets, and if you lose it, it counts as a loss. Yeah.
Okay.
So kind of interesting. I think the bet has actually been around for a while, but it's not in many places. And Jeff says he loves playing it. He's gotten pretty lucky with it recently, so he's had fun with that.
I imagine you'd have to get lucky to like that game. Yeah. So one more thing. What about if I split and and I win both of them, it doesn't count as 2 wins.
No.
Just
counts as one win. Yes, correct.
They should have it like if you do something really like you split tens and win them both, it counts.
I guess to encourage people to split tens.
To encourage people
they
to split
might
tens,
have to change the payouts though, and that might not work.
Well, the legislature will take care of that.
I'm sure
they'll
will
figure out some way to.
They're good. Those guys up there. They're good. They're good. All right. Hey, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, please go to our page first. You can bet on that.com. And click through our Amazon link towards the top of the page. All right, let's move on to our voicemail hotline. Remember, call our hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
And maybe we'll play your clip on the show. First up is our buddy Marty.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike, Marty from Northern California. Love the show, guys. Just listen to the latest show. You guys are talking about when to get a host and should you get a host. Couple of things. I've had a host at multiple casinos for 20 plus years, especially if you are a table player. It is worth it for you to have a host because the points that you accumulate in either Total Rewards or M Life normally don't really add up to the comps that you are really allowed. One of the things that I do with my host is, first of all, I always have him book my trip, book the hotel room, book the suite, book the limo to the hotel. And then I normally meet him at the beginning of the trip. And then at the end of the trip, we hook up and I ask him to tell me what my average bet was and what my theoretical win for the casino is. And as you guys probably know, the amount of comps that they can give you is based on the theoretical amount that you are betting at the casino. Theoretical is a percentage of what you bet. And so the way that it normally works out, again, for most dice players at Caesars properties or M Life properties, is about 30% of your theo can be comped back to you. And that's nowhere near what the M Life or Total Rewards credits would be. So let's say if you play for 10 hours over your 2-day period and you're betting $100 a hand, that comes out to about $1,000 in theo. And what normally happens then is they can comp up to 30% of that back to you. So about $300 in room, food, and beverage. So it's kind of a rule of thumb. They also have kind of a loss number too, meaning that if you lost a bunch more than that, they can comp up to 10% of your total loss back to you. So anyway, something for your listeners to just kind of think about when they're in Vegas. Again, especially if they're diamond or gold or above on the M Life, make sure you ask for a host. The host will love to talk to you. Again, they get credit when you play, not whether you win or you lose, but how much you play, what the theo is. So anyway, thanks guys. Love the show. Hope to play with you sometime. Just got back from 2 weekends in Vegas back to back. I'm actually sitting at home this weekend, and I'm back there in another 2 weeks. So love the show. Thanks, guys.
That's a great point that didn't occur to us when we were talking about hosts last episode. But yeah, especially if you're a table game player, we've talked about how when you're rated at a table game, it's voodoo and it might be completely wrong.
Well, the slot machine is so much more accurate.
Sure,
it knows exactly what you put in and everything. Yeah. The table, it's kind of ambiguous. And plus, when you're playing a slot, think about this. You usually are playing the same amount.
Mm-hmm. So that's true. You're not usually you are,
every time, right? Mm-hmm. You're playing a table game. I mean, even at blackjack, people, 5. I'm going to bet 20 this time. Mm-hmm. So it kind of gets lost in the translation.
Yeah.
So.
And, afterwards, at the end of your trip, hey, James, what did they have me down for? When I was playing craps. Oh, they had you for, $50. $50. Oh my gosh. At any time I had $200 out there. Right. Maybe they can do something for you. So yeah, that's a great point.
Well, and that also, you should always ask the pit too.
Yeah. We've talked about that. That's always good too.
If it's
what are you in the middle of your play or at the end, in the middle is a good time to do it. Hey, what do you have me for?
And when they say this and point out, well, no, I've been making this.
Yeah. Look at what I've got out here. I've got hard ways.
They might up you.
They might up it or say, okay, I'll watch it, the next few shooters
just
and
might
see
think that guy's a jerk.
Yeah, it could be. All right. We got another report here from Resorts World Catskills.
Hey guys, this is Sean from New York, first time caller. I just wanted to give you a trip report. Went to Resorts World Catskills. It's a very nice casino. They have all their table games in the middle of the casino with all of the slot machines surrounding it. A couple interesting things about the casino. It's one of the few casinos that have windows throughout it to look outside of the mountains and the landscape. Also, another thing, I was just listening to your previous episode and mentioning about smoke-free casinos. Well, this is a smoke-free casino. There is no smoking allowed inside the casino at all, which is very nice for me, very nice for my wife. Also, the Asian area is in a corner of the casino that seems to have floor-to-ceiling windows. So it's very nice to play Pai Gow poker while looking out at the scenery. Just want to let you know about the craps. I was there Saturday night, the day before Easter, so it was kind of an odd crowd. Wasn't as busy as I was expecting, but pretty busy. It was $15 minimum on a Saturday night, which I was expecting. I was actually expecting $25 minimum, being at the new casino. But it was $15. They had hot bets, but no all small, make 'em all, or fire bet. It was pretty much a straightforward game. It was pretty interesting. I was up most of the night. I was with some family and had to leave and forgot about my $10 free play as a new member. Sat down, did a one pull, $10 pull, won $50, cashed out. Pretty nice. Nice way to end the night. Hope to see you guys over at Connecticut, and have a good one.
Oh, good. Yeah, we'll see you soon then, Sean. Yeah, talking about big windows in the casino.
Yeah.
The only place we've seen that before, and correct me if I'm wrong, but is Laughlin.
Laughlin, right, correct.
Because it's right there on the river,
Right.
so, it's
And
very pretty.
scenic,
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the only place I've ever seen windows in any casino.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be nice up there in the mountains.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it's beautiful up there.
I think they need to change the name. I don't like Resorts World Catskills.
Well, it's in the Catskills, and Resorts World is the name of the company. So
I know, but don't use the name of the company.
Oh, all right.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
There's got to be something better we can put in front of Catskills.
Okay, I'm gonna. What do you think? Because you're big on these funny sounding casino
Yeah,
names.
right.
So what
Except
do you think?
something- I don't know what
Catskills.
Catskills.
Yeah, I don't know. Like
Fat Catskills Casino?
yeah.
Fat Catskills.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like Fat Cat. Like you're a
fat
fat cat.
Catskills. Yeah. There's more than one way to skin a Catskills.
Yeah.
Right?
There you go. More than one way to skin a Catskill.
It's hard to say, isn't it, to get it out? So maybe they won't use that
That would
one.
get some news. That would get some news.
Might get some news.
SPCA's up there. What's going on here?
It's just the IRS. They think it says skim a cat. And skimming in
You're right.
casinos,
Yeah,
their
that's
ears
not
perk up. So that's probably why they won't do it.
Well,
So
somebody's
just-
got to come up with a better name.
Okay.
Marketing
All right.
wise.
For poker players out there too, the latest episode of the Andy Up Poker Podcast, Scott talks about Resort World's Catskills in their poker room. He was just there recently, so give a listen to that show if you want to hear more about their poker room. All right, let's hear from Taylor.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Dr. Taylor from New Mexico. Sorry to call in 2 episodes in a row, but it's halftime of Villanova Michigan game. I just called into Vegas Confessions to tell them about an embarrassing story I've never confessed before. So what the hell? Everyone's coming to Zorkfest / Vegas Vacation 6. Here's a helpful suggestion for the listeners. So last time I played Crafty with you guys, we were at Terra, Southern California. And you wanted to play at Sada's table, who was leaving. So that was $25 table. I've never played a $25 table. So what we did was me, Andrew, and another gentleman, I can't remember his name,
Dave.
from
Dave,
Orange County,
right.
I want to say. 3 of us bought in, and we kind of just played together. We did pass line 10-10-5. We have 10-10-10 on the odds. And we just kept track of it. So I would never play a $25 table usually, but we kind of pulled together and played at the $25 table. So at Vegas Vacation 6, for the listeners who usually don't play at higher limit, and it's going to be a busy weekend, the table minimum might be higher. And I understand that we want to be a part of the table with Dr. Mike when he throws in these hard ways recklessly. We want to be a part of that. Find someone who is to the side and bind together and be a part of it. That's my suggestion. All right, guys. Really looking across with you guys again. All right, bye.
All right, we'll see you soon, Taylor.
I'll tell you the solution to that, Taylor.
Okay.
Just go with me.
Go with you?
Yeah, go in with me.
Oh, yeah. So that if
So
he just
instead of
wants
me
to-
making $100 hard eight, I'll make $150 hard eight. And,
Yeah.
5 people can throw in $10.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
right?
something like that. Or hey, Mike, can I piggyback on your
Yeah,
placement?
piggyback on my.
That is not a bad way to go, but here's what I would suggest. Make it really simple this way. Let's say Taylor and Andrew, they want to play at a $25 table, but it's a little too rich.
Too
for-
rich.
So they each buy in for $200, and they agree that this is $400 between them.
Right.
And so Taylor, he's in charge of making the pass line bet, $25. And Andrew, he's in charge of placing the 6 and 8 for $30 each. And you just agree at the end
Right.
that whatever you have money, you're just going to go
It's together.
50-50. It's all
Right.
together.
Right.
That way you're both being rated. So it's not
There
like
you
one
go.
guy is standing off to the
Right.
side and say, hey, put $10 on the pass on for it. You're
Right.
both getting rated for playing at a
Right.
$25 table, but you're not risking as much as it
yeah,
seems.
that's a very good point. So instead of like people standing behind saying, here, do this, do that, play as two people or three people, just make different bets
Yes.
that you would have made anyway.
Right. And
You
make
got to
it
be careful not to get carried away.
No, you have to check with, who you're teamed up with.
Right.
And I would also recommend buy in for the same amount.
Right.
So when you suddenly, if one guy's in for 100 and somebody else is in for 200, well, then it gets tricky. You buy in for the same amount. You just,
Right.
this is our community money. We'll split
Right.
50-50 or,
Yeah, three people,
130
and you each put
Yeah.
in like $200.
Yeah.
You got $600.
Yeah.
And then you each have 200 in front of you. One guy makes pass line bet.
Yeah, Taylor makes
the other
pass
guy-
line. Andrew makes the place bets. Dave makes the hard way bets.
A couple
and
of
it's
hard
just,
ways bet, and that's it.
and if
all
one
get rated.
one guy starts to run out of money, you just well, here you go, right? It's all community money, so it doesn't
Right.
matter. You
Yeah,
just
the
give the guy.
casino
Yeah.
won't care.
No, they
just
don't
say,
care.
Oh,
Yeah.
you could just say, hey, I'm borrowing $50 from my buddy
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So so the hard way guy hits a hard way and has a lot of money, and the pass line wasn't hitting.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah,
redistribute
it's
the
all
money.
it's all the same.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah. It's a good way to go. It's
Yeah.
actually a great way to go. Yeah. I mean, you got to have a certain.
We need
I
to
don't
know the person.
I don't want to say like super great friends, but you have to at least know.
You have to
them and
trust them. Yeah, sure, of
trust
course,
them,
like anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you could get burned on that.
Sure. Suddenly the guy, color me up. He's running to the cashier. Wait a
Or
second.
he's putting chips in his pocket.
Oh
as he's
yeah.
winning,
No, you're
that-
right. I mean, that's
why
right. That's why you need to trust the person.
That's why
Yes.
you got to
Yeah,
trust.
no,
them,
you're
yeah.
right.
Now
you're
the
right.
people we're talking about who did it at Harris.
Yeah.
They are all trustworthy
Yes.
good people.
Yes.
That, I wasn't insinuating anything was going on there because they are all great people.
Yes.
But, if you were in Vegas at a big event, and
Yeah.
there's just some guy, oh yeah, let's pull our money.
You didn't know him, or okay,
Right.
I'll do that.
That might
Yeah,
be
be
a little
careful
risky.
about that. Yes. Yep. All right. Ready for Mississippi Rob?
Yes.
All right, here he is.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike, this is Mississippi Rob just calling with a trip report, but one a little different than normal, not from the casino, but actually from the Masters Monday practice round. I know this doesn't really have a chance of making your show till after the Masters is over, but I still wanted to give you a call. I actually entered the lottery for the tickets last year and could not believe it whenever I got the email and actually got a chance to get tickets for me and three buddies. We had, I guess it's been probably a 6-hour drive yesterday, a 2-hour drive this morning, and now a 6-hour drive home, just about there. But what an incredible experience, marking it off the bucket list. Just could not believe how beautiful the course is, seeing all the players up close and personal. And most importantly for me, being a huge Tiger Woods fan, getting right up close to him, even seeing him gearing up for his comeback, hopefully maybe to bring home his 5th green jacket. Even got to see him up close and personal on the second hole today. It was par 5 on number 2. Had about a 300-yard approach shot, hit it just barely over the green, and chipped it in for an eagle. I mean, even on a Monday practice round that makes no difference whatsoever, the crowd's just going absolutely berserk. So I can't imagine what the crowds will be like this weekend, especially if he gets into contention. So just wanted to call and give you all a heads up. Just an incredibly interesting experience to see such an incredible course like that with all of these players, just the things that they can do. And not to mention this one thing that I enjoy the most anytime I'm actually in Vegas is just being able to bet on some of the majors throughout the year, guys to win it, guys to make the top 20, top 10, and just be interested to actually be there and be able to get some of these bets in on this. I wish I could. Anyways, just wanted to give you all a trip report on that. Just a great experience, and hopefully I'll be able to see some fireworks on Sunday, and maybe Tiger can pull one out for me. So thanks again for all y'all do. Really enjoy the podcast, and talk to y'all soon.
Yeah, nice. That sounds
It
fun.
was a
yeah.
great Masters.
It really was. Yeah, it was very entertaining.
I'm a terrible golfer.
Uh-huh.
I mean, my father-in-law was a scratch golfer, and he took me out all the time. I'm just not a good golfer. I can play a lot of sports really well. Golfing's not one of them.
Okay.
But I love watching golf. I seriously, that's one sport I can watch and not get the urge to go play.
It's funny because I'm not a golfer. I think maybe I played my teens once, and I'm sure I would not have the talent or the patience, either one of them.
But you have to have both. for
Yeah,
that.
but it's funny because I do kind of enjoy watching it too. Now, I usually have it on in the background
Right.
while I'm doing other things, but this was entertaining.
I mean, I'm an avid. I watch every
Yeah,
week the
yeah.
golf tournament, and I root for certain players. I've like Rob. I am a big Tiger Woods fan too.
Okay, all right.
I know he's had his problems personally, but as a golfer, and I was telling you this the other day, just as a golfer, the guy is phenomenal.
But he was at one point for sure. Yes.
For one point, yeah, he's getting older and he's had back issues and stuff. But I just appreciate the fact that he could be that good. I mean, so much better than everyone else. I mean, he's up there with the top 3 or 4 guys of all time.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So,
Sure.
just to see him even at this age is pretty amazing.
Well, before the tournament started, the 2 favorites were Tiger Woods and Jordan Spieth.
Yeah.
Now,
it's funny Tiger Woods was there.
Yeah, I think that was more of people, kind of betting with their hearts. I mean, he had a chance, but and Jordan Spieth, I can certainly understand.
Jordan Spieth had a great chance. I mean,
look at that last round. I mean, he was coming back.
He's a phenomenal golfer
yeah,
too.
he really is.
And if he keeps his head straight, he'll be there with Tiger Woods at the end as far as how many records he sets and how many tournaments he wins.
Yeah. Before the tournament, Jordan Spieth, Tiger Woods, they were the favorites at 10-1. The golfer that eventually won, Patrick Reed, he was 50-1 before the tournament started.
Which is still pretty good when you think about the field.
Sure. Yeah. Sergio Garcia, who won last year, he was 33-1.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, that first round for him, he hit a 13 on the 15th hole. So
he didn't have much better second day either.
Oh, I know. Was it like 5 in the water just on that
like
hole?
That,
a 13 from the previous year's winner. Ooh, that was rough.
Pro. I mean,
I know.
I was telling my wife, I said, it's so embarrassing because you're a pro. I mean, that happens to me. It's like, yeah.
Oh, well, that was a good one.
13.
Yeah.
Can you bet the field?
I'm sure you can. What I printed up here was just from some site beforehand. But yeah, I'm sure you can bet the field too.
Yeah, I wondered, that'd be an interesting bet.
Yeah.
I told you, I think it was in the first round, after the first round, I said I'd put my money on Stenson.
No, that's right. You did say that, yeah.
Henrik Stenson, because he's a great golfer and he looked good and he's about due to win again. And he did finish in the top 10. He was tied for 5th.
Tied for 5th, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, he had a good time. And Ricky Fowler, I feel so sorry for that guy.
Because he's just always a bridesmaid.
Always a bridesmaid. And he comes up with some amazing rounds every now and then, but he just can't pull through in any of the majors. Yeah. But he's going to get his day someday.
Yeah. And then Tiger finished tied for 32nd. He was 1 over.
Yeah.
So,
which is actually pretty good. I mean, there have been times when people, not recently, but in years past, they win the Masters, they're, 2 under or something, or par. Right?
Yeah.
It's like a U.S. Open when, par wins.
Yeah.
The guy's at par and everyone else is, plus 2 or...
golf. Yeah, I'm sure it would be just too aggravating for me, I'm sure.
I don't think you'd have the patience.
No,
one thing about
not.
golfing is there is some waiting too.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got to wait for the other guy to hit. You just don't run up and hit your ball and then hit your ball. You have to wait.
Yeah, I hate waiting at miniature golf.
Right. Now that I can play.
I think I can too.
I'm really good with those angles.
We'll have to go out there on the links and see how we do at miniature golf. All right. Next up, Audra.
Hey there, this is Audra. I live in Virginia, and I just wanted to give you a quick report on my first time playing craps in Vegas. My husband and I love to go to Las Vegas. We try to go once a year, but we have a son now, so it's kind of hard for us to get there sometimes if it doesn't work out. But we try to go once a year. My parents were there last week, and my husband had a couple of unexpected days off. So I looked at him and I said, I could go to Vegas. And he said, you could. And I said, are you serious? He said, yeah, go. I didn't get you anything for Valentine's Day. Go to Vegas. So
Good
I have
husband.
the best husband in the world. And
Okay, yeah, she said best husband in the world. Yeah. But wait a minute. He didn't get her anything for Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I agree. Letting your wife just go go for it. That is pretty good. Yeah. But, no present on Valentine's Day?
Yeah, that's kind of rough.
Yeah.
Although that happens a lot.
Oh, sure.
I don't know how long they've been married, but,
Valentine, we talked about it. It's a made-up holiday.
Yeah, it doesn't really count.
All right.
Birthdays and anniversaries count.
Very important, yes. Although both my wife and I, frequently forget our anniversary.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Now, I know yours is like right after the beginning of the year, right? So it's probably a good placeholder for you.
Right.
But we forget.
Plus, we got a big brick sitting on the hearth. So
representing your love?
No, it has our anniversary date on it. You gave it to me.
Isn't that your love? That's my whole point.
Yeah. So I see that all the time when I'm watching TV.
So you do it.
I can never forget.
All right. Let's see how Audra's trip went.
And I impulse bought a plane ticket to Las Vegas. I arrived at the D late last Sunday night. I didn't gamble, but I walked through the casino a little bit because I wanted to look at the craps table. because I've been binge listening to you guys. I think I've listened to 5 years of episodes in the last 6 months. So I was very anxious to give this a whirl. There was a sign on one of the craps tables that said free lessons at noon, Monday through Friday. So I got a good night's sleep and went down at noon. I want to mention the dealers were James and I think it was Norman. They were fantastic with me. It was me and another guy for the lesson. The lesson was about 20 minutes, and what they did was explain the pass and don't pass. Gave us a couple scenarios about how that worked, how the pass number then became our number. I knew that I would never play the don't pass line, but I guess it was important to explain that difference. What they said was once the point was established, then I would place the 6 and 8. So in the real game, that's what I did. It was time to play, and I put $5 on the pass line and placed the 6 and 8. It was a lot of 7 out, or 0.7 out. You know, I was not doing so well. But all of a sudden, this woman got the dice, and she started hitting some numbers. So Norman at one point looked at me. He said, now I'm pressing your 6. And I was like, okay, whatever you say. He said, I'm going to make you some money now. Let's make some money. So that's what he did, and I started getting chips pushed my way. It was like a miracle. James at one point looked at me and said, young lady, take 3 green, 5 red, and 1 white. There's your original bet. Keep that separate. Now you're going to play with your winning. So that's what I did, and gosh, I had such a great time. Everybody was helpful to me. I just kept with those dealers, James and Norman. They were fantastic, helped me the whole way. The guy next to me, I rolled once and made some money for him. He gave me a hug, so that was kind of funny. So I just had a really great time. I played for about 2 hours, and I ended up with $138. I bought in originally for $100. So I had a blast, and I just want to thank you guys so much for giving me the confidence to be able to do that. And maybe if I can do it, some other people can do it too. I think that's all I want to tell you. Thanks again. I'm really enjoying your show. Take care. Bye.
Great story, huh?
That's a great story. Yeah. And she makes a great point there at the end. Everyone can do this.
Yes.
I mean, not everyone's going to win like she did, but everyone can play craps.
Yes, but we know it's intimidating the way that the table looks and, everything's going fast. Well, we've talked about it before. It's really not that complicated. And if you get somebody to help you.
Right. She's good that she got 2 nice dealers who helped her out and, kind of guided her along too. So now she won't be intimidated.
Yep.
We'll see her probably in Vegas one day. Yep. Give me $100 all the hard ways. Hopping.
Hopping. She knows what she's doing. That's great. Oh, yeah. Thanks for the call, Audra. That's great. All right. Next up is Will.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Will from North Carolina again. I'm actually right in the middle of a Vegas trip right now, and I've had a number of interesting things happen, and I want to tell you guys about some of the things that have happened on this trip. So first off, in the past, I remember you guys have said that you like to use your free play on video poker, and actually I was kind of thinking about that this trip, and because I had some free play built up, it really motivated me to try to play video poker for the first time. So I took some of my free play, and I decided to do that. And I can't believe it. I've only had to play 2 sessions, probably about only 600 hands for a total or so. And I couldn't believe it. About that far in, I hit a royal flush.
Come on!
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And what's crazy about it, too, is I only had to hold 2 cards in order to get it, and I was dealt the other 3. And I could not believe it. I would have never expected that. And I know it's really frustrating for you guys. I know you guys have had a lot of trouble hitting the royal flush. But I did want to let you know that really you guys' advice about using free play on video poker is really what led to me having it. And so it was really amazing. The second thing that's been really interesting about this trip is I actually started really trying to play slots for the first time on this trip, because in the past I've always avoided them because I know that the house edge is just huge on them. But crazily enough, the way that luck and variance has gone during this trip is my crap sessions have actually been bad, and I'm down a good bit in craps. But my slot sessions have been amazing. I've probably played about 6 different sessions, and I've won every single time. Now, it helps that I think I've stopped after I get like big bonuses and hits, and I stop immediately afterwards. But even so, like I expected, like my slot play, I was just going to lose tons of money. And it's amazing how the luck works out that way. I mean, I'm not on L's level, of course, but I was really surprised to see that results can be funny like that sometimes. So I got a few other stories I want to tell you guys about, all involving craps. So this next one you guys might appreciate. So in the past, when I've heard some dealers explain to new players why, when you take odds in the 5 and 9, why it has to be even in the back, they've said, oh yeah, it's because it pays like a blackjack. It pays, 3 to 2. And ever since I heard that explanation, I've really liked it, and I use that as my explanation to new players when I'm explaining to them how it works. Well, I was on this strip casino a few days ago, and there was this one dealer who I already wasn't that crazy about, and my feelings were verified right afterwards because I was using that explanation to explain to a new player. I said, okay, yeah, when you have 5 or 9, your odds in the back need to be even because it pays like a blackjack, 3 to 2. Well, this dealer stopped me and said, no, what you said is wrong because a blackjack pays 6 to 5. And I just sat there, and of course I didn't say anything. I just kind of smiled at the dealer and said, okay. But in my mind, I was thinking, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, I misspoke. I meant to say it pays like a real blackjack, not this 6 to 5 garbage you guys have on the strip. But of course, I didn't say that. But anyway, I thought you guys might appreciate hearing that story based on how much 6 to 5 stuff we've talked about in the past.
That's a good story. I'm going to remember that. First of all, to explain to people that for the 5 and 9, 3 to 2 like a black. Here's what I'm going to do. And this is similar to what Will did. For the 5 and 9, you have to bet even because it pays 3 to 2 like real blackjack. If the point is 6 or 8, then you have to put a multiple of 5 because it pays 6 to 5 like crappy casinos like the one we're playing in.
Right. There you go. That's what he should have said. Oh, so it's the 6 and 8 that pay the crappy blackjack.
That's right.
I'm going to think about this call all night,
I know.
He hit the
I know.
I'm happy for Will, but why can't I hit a royal?
I know. He sent us a picture. That was the first thing that caught my eye was he had only held on to 2 cards.
Yeah, you know how many times I've held on to 4
I know.
and not gotten it? I mean, we have played so much video poker. I am like cursed at video poker. I mean, hundreds of times.
4 cards. Sure.
I've held 4 cards.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, well, this has got to hit once eventually. Right? No.
Yeah, you're beating the odds.
Yeah, and our friend Mary gets dealt it. Will draws 3 and gets it.
All right, back to Will.
So in the past, I've had a dealer tell me that if a shooter is shooting the dice and it hits somebody on the other end and then rolls back into the table, if the player is like staying still behind the railing, it counts as a roll. But if the player does any kind of forward motion, especially if they go over the railing and the dice goes back in, then it's no roll because they don't want the person influencing the dice. What was interesting last night, this is what happened. The shooter, shot the dice, and the person on the other end, I think they just weren't ready for the dice, and they instinctively kind of just waved their arm almost trying to block the dice, and the dice roll back in, and it was a 7 out. And so the stick just immediately calls, 7 out, and the dealer start picking up all the chips. But the players make a big fuss over it on the other end. They say, no, that's no roll. And I was sitting there thinking like, oh, come on, the pitch is going to say, no, come on, guys, that was a 7 out. But no, the players made such a big fuss over it that the pitch stopped the game and had them check the camera to see what was going to happen. And it took about 10 minutes for them to do it. So the game was completely stopped for 10 minutes. And lo and behold, they came down and the pitch said, nope, they said, that's no roll. You guys were right. That does not count. And it was great because afterwards, the guy was already on a pretty hot roll and he kept on rolling for a long time after that. So it's pretty crazy. It was funny. It really reminded me of like an NFL game. It felt like a coach's challenge. And we're sitting there waiting for the referees to, look at it to see whether it's going to be a catch or not. And we finally find the news and we cheer just like a crowd at a football game. So it was really interesting. I've never seen that happen before.
That's a good story. I'm glad it worked out like that. I'm glad they went to the eye in the sky.
Okay,
and yeah, he's right. If somebody makes a move, even if it's not really intentional,
but they make a move to push the dice back or somehow the dice get pushed back, it's no roll.
Yeah. This is why I wish they still had box persons at tables.
Right.
Because the box person probably could have made a ruling right there.
Right, exactly.
And that would have sped up the game. That would have been good for the casino. The box person would be watching the game. Okay, I saw no roll. Let's move on.
It doesn't happen that much.
No, it doesn't. But well, okay, that specific thing.
So.
I know why they do it because it's an extra person.
Right.
But things are constantly happening at the table.
Right. There's a lot of stuff to watch too. They should have a box person just so players get the correct payouts. How many times have we been paid too much?
Mm-hmm, you got that right.
A lot.
Yep, it does.
I'll tell you another thing too that's interesting about this story. I like the fact that they went to the camera and then it's still a judgment call.
Yeah, sure.
But they reversed it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's good. But what really should have happened, as soon as the dice went up and touched the player, before they came back and landed on the table, the stick should have called no roll.
Yes, I
He
agree.
should have real loud just said no roll.
Yeah, and tried to pick up the dice so nobody really sees it anyway.
And that way, no matter what comes up, 7 or point, it's no roll.
No, I
and
agree.
nobody can complain with that.
Yeah.
The stick waiting until it's a 7, that's going to create controversy.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Or if he waited and they made the point, and then he said, well, that's no roll. The guy pushed it back.
Yeah.
That controversy. Just call no roll while they're in the air, and then nobody can
After
argue
it's come
with
off
that.
them. Yeah.
Right. As soon as you've obviously hit him, but there's time when it's bouncing back, you just yell no roll.
Yeah. No, I agree.
The other thing I thought was interesting happened, another story, there was this other guy that was on a really, really hot roll. And they did the thing where, I don't know what it is. They bring in the new chips, like the security guard comes in with a big glass case and they start putting the chips in. And the pit boss, wanted this guy who was on a hot roll to keep rolling. But no, the shooter was adamant. He was like, no, I'm not rolling until they move all that. I'm going to wait. But the pit boss was insistent on he keep on rolling, but the guy wouldn't do it. And so the pit boss said, okay, I'm moving the dice to the next person. But here's what was great. The next person said, no. He's on a hot roll. I'm going to shoot. I'm going to pass the dice. And everybody at the table all unified together and said, no, we are all passing the dice. He is going to keep on shooting. And I'd never seen that happen before. And so the pit boss was kind of in a bind and couldn't do anything. And so he said, okay, fine, I'm going to wait. And he just waited for it to be over with and then kept the game going. And I could have understood it if the guy was like 3 rolls in and the pit boss wanted to keep the game going. But I was like, come on, it's a hot roll. Just wait a few minutes. It's okay if the game doesn't go on that long. So I thought that was a really, really interesting result. All right, guys, I always appreciate it. I always appreciate telling you guys about my trips. All right, I appreciate you guys. Bye.
Good. Solidarity at the craps table.
You know what's funny about that is a lot of casinos won't do a fill until there's a 7 out.
Right. So what Will was talking about was new chips were coming to the table. They're being refilled. You just call it a fill.
Right.
And you're right. I would say at most casinos, when there's a fill, they stop the game.
Right.
To count. But there are some who want to keep the game going. And,
Yeah, which I don't know if that makes any sense.
Well, it makes sense to the casino because then the game's continuing to go.
Maybe, but when they're putting all the chips out there and counting them, if the guy hits them and it makes a mess, that could slow the game down.
That's true.
I think most casinos stop it and do a fill like at a 7 out because they don't want anything messing up. They want an accurate count of how many chips were delivered and, everything. Yeah. So that's what they do at Harrah's Southern Cal.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. Sometimes the security guard has to wait a while.
That's right. They'll wait for a 7 out, or at least a come out roll
or something. Yeah.
But this is great. I'm glad everybody at the table doesn't know. But what can you do?
It's our
There's
new
nothing
world.
the casino can do.
Just band together.
All right. Speaking of rolls, no rolls. Let's hear from James.
Hi, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is James calling from Salt Lake City. Just wanted to share a recent craps playing experience I had at the Red Garter Casino in Wendover, Nevada this past.
Well, you like that?
Now that's a great name.
Red
Garter Casino.
Yeah. Okay.
See, now that's something you can get behind.
Yeah, it's not a silly name, but it's something you like.
It's something I like. The Red Garter Casino.
Because there's a little sex behind it. Is
it's kind of edgy, There's a little sexy. Oh, and you see that Red Garter.
All right.
The reason I played at the Red Garter is because the casino I normally play at, the Rainbow, their craps table is full. The Red Garter is a little bit of a gumpier casino, but still $5 table with 10 times odds, so good table to play at. But it was an interesting experience because I'd never been at a table that was so strict about making sure the dice hit the back wall in order for it to qualify as a roll. There were several times where they called no roll because both dice didn't hit the back wall. And in fact, at one point, the point was 4, and both me and the shooter had put a dealer hard 4 out, and the guy next to me rolled a hard 4, but they called it a no roll because while one die hit the back wall, the other die, which had the trajectory to hit the back wall, ended up hitting a chip before it got to the back wall, and so they called a no roll, even though it would have made money for them as dealers and gave us the point. It was really surprising. And then it got even more interesting. A couple minutes later, there was a woman that came up to the table, and she was trying to shoot, and she was having a difficult time reaching the back wall as well, but she was trying as hard as she could. You could tell she was a newer player to the craps table. But the next time around, when it got to her again, the box person actually said to her that she was not allowed to roll because she wasn't able to control the dice well enough, and that she was posing a danger to the players and the dealers, and that she was going to perhaps hurt somebody by the way she was throwing the dice. I'd never heard that one before. It's as if the dice were a Red Ryder BB gun or something instead. Anyway, I hope you all enjoy your time in Connecticut later this month, and thanks for the podcast. Take care.
So they're telling her, look, you've got to hit the back wall.
Right.
And, maybe she's far away from the end and she doesn't have the strength to get it down there. So she's whipping it as best she can.
Right.
And then they say, oh, now you have no control.
Well,
you can't have it both ways.
Well, Mark, craps is fun and everything, but as soon as somebody gets an eye put out, it gets serious.
I'm glad you brought it down because, you're right. That is true.
You got to be careful. You don't want anyone losing an eye at the craps table.
I certainly understand the casino wanting the dice to hit the back wall. They want the dice to be random.
Yeah.
But to be that anal about it, that hurts the casino.
That hurts the casino.
Right? Because they're not getting as many rolls in.
It's stupid.
Yeah, it really is.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
So what would they do with a guy like George at Harris Rincon? There's a regular guy,
older guy. Mm-hmm.
Very old. I don't know. He's probably got Parkinson's and multiple issues. Mm-hmm. He never makes it halfway down the table.
No, he tries. I mean, he is trying.
Yeah, he throws them, but they always go about halfway. Mm-hmm. I mean, literally halfway. Yeah. They're not even close to the back wall. Yeah. And I know there's cards there, so it really
that's really it. Since they're here and the dice determine what cards are turned over, they don't make a big deal of it, and they go ahead and
But
let
would
them
they
roll.
say to somebody like George, I'm sorry, you can't roll. You just can't get him to the back.
Based on this story, yeah. He wouldn't be allowed to roll.
Against handicapped
That's
people.
Right, yes.
Boy, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Yeah,
if we were attorneys, one of us has got to get a law degree. We could think how rich we would be.
We're not too old. Think how rich we would be. Yeah, that's
we could play craps every week.
All right, next up is Tom.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. Tom from North Carolina. Just a quick trip report. Just returned from London and had an opportunity to play at the Hippodrome, or more specifically, Lola's Underground at the Hippodrome. The night we went was there were 2 tables open. They had a third table that was set up for some sort of carnival game. I'm not sure exactly what. But the other 2 tables were essentially standard U.S.-style craps. That was kind of the good part. The bad part was it's only 2 times odds. No feature bets of any kind that I could see. No all tall, small, or fire bet or anything of that sort. But the buy-in was about 10 pounds, so was that about $15 U.S. This is actually kind of fun because it was my 19-year-old son's first time in a casino, something he's been begging me to do all week, and so we finally made that happen. And we had one great roller on the table. It wasn't either one of us who actually made us some money. We both got a chance to roll, didn't do so well, but it was a great time, great energy in that casino. A couple things, it only opens at 6 p.m. at night. I think their hours are 6 to 4 a.m. And 6 to 6 on weekends. Dealers were friendly, great energy. The only thing that's kind of odd, of course, if you're American, watch out that the 25 chips are actually black in London. 5 pounds are red, as you would expect, but the 25 pounds are black. And oddly enough, the 1 pound chips were, I don't even think they were clay. They felt like those cheap kind of blue poker chips you had maybe as a kid. No real writing or anything on them. It's sort of like it's something you've done in your own house, which is kind of odd. But anyway, it's a great experience. You don't go for the high odds, but if you want to have a good time and say you play some craps in London, I highly recommend Lola's Underground Casino. Great show. Keep it up. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Good. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, I bet that everybody who's attending Bunfest will probably be heading over to the Hippodrome for that craps. And even though they only have double odds, there are some rules at the Hippodrome craps table that are better than American craps.
Right, the hard ways.
We talked about, I think on episode 92, go back, we talked about it a little bit. But yeah, the hard ways, the hard 6 and 8 pay 9.5 to 1.
Right.
And I believe, if I recall, they do have 50 pence chips so that can be paid correctly.
So
I believe that was the case.
Correctly.
Yeah. Hard 4 or hard 10 pays 7.5 to 1. Also, place bets. Placing the 4 or 10 pays 9.5 to 5 instead of 9 to 5. Yep. And even the hot bets pay 16 to 1 and 33 to 1. So the pairs are 33 to 1. And, yeah. Wow. So, I mean, those bets are a little bit better.
Good.
Yeah.
And the limit, $15, or whatever
10 pounds,
10 pounds. Mm-hmm. It's a good limit.
That's okay.
That's
okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's
for the only
odds.
game in town, I guess.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's double odds. And,
yeah.
You'd think it'd be higher with just double odds and the only game in town.
Yeah, maybe. But
so we can counterfeit some of those blue
the pound
chips,
1 pound
right?
chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably worth
You
our
just
while.
show up with 1,000 blue chips.
Just all these old.
I'd like to color up.
Sir, I'm having trouble stacking these. They're linked together somehow.
Some of these stick together.
All right, up next, Ryan.
Hey guys, it's Ryan from Las Vegas. I haven't heard anybody call in or tell you guys anything about it, so maybe I have the first hand in letting you know, but who knows? I have some insight, living here in Las Vegas, going down to the casinos every day. Hey, I was at the D, and I saw that, where you guys usually do the Sigma Derby, and they have the old horse racing on the little machines. They put in the new virtual machines where the horses still race around, but there's a big video board, and, it sits a lot more people, and you can bet on the superfecta and the trifecta and all this crazy stuff, and it's, you're not just betting the quarters like you do on the little horse races, which was pretty fun to play, but I still prefer playing the old horse racing machine. It's just the classic. But I'm sure you guys will be playing that here soon next time you go out there and play in the D. Also, a good buddy of mine just became the promotions and event manager at Southern California. The name's Michael. He's a really nice guy. I know you guys already get hooked up with everything there, but maybe if you want an extra T-shirt, just tell them you know who I am, and maybe they'll hook you up. Anyways, hope you guys are going to have fun on your trip there. Take it easy and be safe, guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah, his call kind of dropped out there for a second. But yeah, so Michael at Harrah's, I guess we'll just, anytime we see an employee named Michael, we'll just say, hey, yeah, Ryan said you get us some T-shirts.
Now he's in charge of what?
Was it promotion? Yeah, it kind of cut off there.
We'll ask Michael, the pit boss.
Okay, we'll find out who he is.
Yeah, we'll find out this weekend. You know what? And I don't know why I haven't said this before. Ryan calls all the time.
Sure.
Seems like a real great guy. Seems like a guy we'd like to hang out with.
Yeah.
He's got to meet us in Vegas.
Well, he used to live close by, right? Would come down here. Yeah. Well, when next time we're in Vegas,
Ryan, we're going to be there in May. You've got to come see us. I mean, if you're going to the casinos every day, you got to pop in and see us somewhere.
Now, as far as the Sigma Derby machine goes, these machines are so old. And they break down all the time, and I'm sure they're kind of hard to repair. It's probably hard to get parts for them.
Sure,
right?
Sure.
I know
the horses get tired. Imagine you've been running all those years.
It's a long time, not to be put out to stud yet.
Yeah, and some of them never win. I mean, there's some that just have never won.
I have a confession to make. I've never been a big fan of Sigma Derby. I know that. I know you love it, and it's kind of kitschy, and people like it.
Right.
So I'm not quite as sad, but
Well, you don't like. There's no real way to. There's no.
I don't know.
There's
maybe
no
it's just
proper
again
way to play Sigma Derby. I mean, we can give you what you should do on a certain hand of video poker, and we can tell you what you should do at a craps table. We can tell you what the right move at a blackjack table is. We can even tell you how to set your Pai-Gow hand with some certainty. There's no way to say, okay, on this thing, on Sigma Derby, this one you take 2-4. I mean, it's just that is the luckiest possible thing. I don't even know if you can do money management in Sigma Derby. I mean, maybe in slots you can talk about some money management strategies. Like, I'll play until I get up so much, or I'll do this. Well, what do you do in Sigma Derby?
It takes so long to put the quarters in anyway.
Yeah. I think Sigma Derby is there for entertainment. And for those of us who never want to go into a gym, it's some work while we're gambling, putting those quarters in.
All right,
and stuff.
that's good. So maybe not the D. They may still have it at MGM Grand, but they might not be long for this world for Sigma Derby. So those who want to play, try to do it.
It's going the way of Chuck-a-Luck, Mark.
Yo, don't say that. That makes me sad. Brings a tear to my eye. All right, one last call from Vito, cousin Vito.
Hey, Mark, Dr. Mike, cousin Vito here. I'm getting all geared up for Gamblepalooza, so I figured I'd give you guys a call. Hopefully, get the hype train rolling here. And I want you to know that we're very excited on the East Coast to have you out here at Foxwoods Resort Casino and a little bit at Mohegan Sun. We sold almost 20 rooms through our host for the event. So that's 20 rooms full of people that are coming to hang out, play craps, and have some cocktails with us. So I got my bag packed. I'm folding up my clothes. What am I going to wear? I don't know. And also, I got you guys each a Gamblepalooza t-shirt you could wear so we could spot you in the crowd.
Nice.
Represent the Gamblepalooza weekend because I'm going to let it all hang out, guys. So, don't judge me, but I'm here to have a blast. And I also wanted to alert you to a possible breakfast event we're going to do. Now, it's Saturday morning, so I know Friday night I'm probably going to be up late. You'll probably be up very late. But we were going to do a Keno breakfast at the Veranda Cafe at the Grand Pequot Tower. They have the Keno runners. I was going to go down there, maybe have a mimosa depending on how I'm feeling, but definitely have a nice breakfast, some coffee, and run some Keno. Maybe have a big win just prior to our $100 a share group slot pull, high limit style. So I want to get you guys revved up for that. We're going to head over to Mohegan's on Saturday. Let me know what time you think. Maybe discuss it on the show, and that's basically all you have to work out. All the events are pretty much just casual group gambling, which is the way we like it. So enjoy your flight over, and if I don't talk to you before then, I'll see you at Foxwoods.
Yeah, this is it. This is our last episode before Gamblepalooza. It's hard to believe. It's coming up.
I guess it is.
It's next week as we're going to be going.
What are we going to do? Pre-record?
No.
So we're going next week.
We're going next week, so our next show we'll talk about it. It's actually perfect timing. Right. Yeah. So
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to that Keno.
Yeah, we will be there to that breakfast. Don't worry about it. Yeah,
for Keno. I might be crazy at craps, but I have a system at Keno.
Okay, yeah, that's right. So in other words, what you're saying is you can't tell me what to bet on Sigma Derby,
right?
But you can tell me what to bet on Keno.
Oh, I can definitely tell you about Keno.
All right, you're going to school me then, I guess. Yeah.
I've had good luck with Keno over the years.
Yeah, it's true. You have. Now, longtime listeners may remember that Mike's favorite card to fill out is the 20 spot.
20 spot.
And he has hit 0 on the 20 spot several times.
Yeah.
At some casinos, it only pays $500. At others, it pays $1,000. But you have hit it multiple times.
I have hit it multiple times. Yeah. Well, my balls aren't stuck together with gum. I keep gum from the waist up.
Good for you. Another T-shirt.
Another T-shirt.
Yeah. So we're going to be there next week. We will tweet, but really, it's not like in Vegas where we could be all over the place. We're basically going to be at Foxwoods the whole time. So we may tweet here and there, but you'll find us there. We're going to be there, and Vito's got these events set up along with Eric Rosenthal, and so we're going to be there on Saturday night. We will be at Mohegan Sun, but otherwise, it's just Foxwoods. So hopefully, we'll see you out
I
there.
love Impractical Jokers, and I watch all the old episodes. And the other night I was watching, and they were at Foxwoods. They go there quite a bit.
Yeah, isn't one of them like a big gambler?
Yeah, Joe is a big gambler.
Okay,
I guess evidently likes blackjack.
Okay.
God, every time I see that, I think I want to go there.
Yeah.
And if I could go there and one of them was there, that'd be really cool. But I still want to go there.
Yeah, this is exciting.
Yeah.
We're really looking forward to it.
Do some stuff. The people who run Foxwoods must be pretty cool because they let them do stuff to blackjack players and stuff and everything. Yeah. And I'm thinking most casinos probably would not do that.
They wouldn't like it.
They would not like that.
Piss off the customers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then speaking of things coming up too, don't forget Zorkfest, May 25th through the 27th. Use promo code ZorkBet to get $10 off your ticket. We're going to have a charity craps tournament on that Friday night, May 25th. And don't forget Podcasters After Dark on May 26th, now sponsored by The Better Life. Tim over at The Better Life just announced he's going to be sponsoring that event.
Nice.
And of course, there's going to be Scott from Vital Vegas and Adam from Some Kind of Fanboy. And also the guys from Vegas Confessions are going to be there ahead of time. So yeah, it's going to be great.
We should say, don't be afraid of the craps tournament.
Exactly. Yes.
Even if you don't know how to play craps, a craps tournament is very easy. You just
and we'll teach you. That's part of it. Is we're going to teach you how to play craps beforehand, and this is for charity,
right?
And you know what? I'll tell you, the whole Zorkfest thing. We're going to have a lot more information next time because we're going to talk to Eric Rosenthal next week at Gamblepalooza.
Right.
We'll iron out some more things, and I'm sure we're going to be announcing prizes and everything for that. Ultimately, it's a charity.
Right.
It's a good charity for Uganda education. That is Adam, Vegas Fanboy, Travel Fanboy, one of his causes. So it's a great event. Just come take part in the tournament. And hey, a tournament is a weird beast, right?
Yeah,
it's not like Mike and I expect to win this tournament, right?
and you know what? There is no proper way to play a craps tournament.
You have to see what everybody else is doing.
At the end, I could tell you how I should play.
Sure.
But during it, I have no clue. I'm as clueless as somebody who's never played craps.
Yeah.
I mean,
so definitely, come for that. We'll have more details coming up in the next few episodes. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. We want to thank some people for some PayPal donations. First of all, Marty, who gave us advice on hosts at the top of our call segment right there. He said, had to jump to the dark side after midnight, but it worked. Love the show, guys. Thanks very much, Marty, for your donation. Also from Will, who hit his royal flush. after playing like 600. You guys motivated me to play video poker, and that led me to my Royal Flush. And I know you guys have had a hard time hitting the Royal, so I wanted to give you a tiny kickback from it. Thanks very much, Will.
Thanks, Will. I guess that kind of makes me feel good.
Right.
It does make me feel good, but boy, we need to hit one.
And also a donation from Judge Dave that came in right today. So thanks very much,
Thank
Dave.
you, Judge.
Hey, be sure to check out our TV listings showing all the gambling-related shows coming up within the next 2 weeks. We update those listings every Wednesday using a customized program that searches through all the raw American TV data. Just go to youcanbetonThat.com/TV-listings. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS. Or you can email us at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at YouCanBetOnThat and on Facebook at facebook.com/YouCanBetOnThat. Finally, please go to your favorite podcast app and write a review on us. We love getting your feedback. All right, Dr. Mike.
Well, I just can't wait. I
know it's hard to believe.
It's crazy, but we got to get through like tomorrow and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday we leave.
That's right. You listed every day up until the day we leave.
Yeah, I'm counting the days down. I am excited. Well, first of all, I've never been to Connecticut.
Neither have I.
So I'm just curious to see the scenery and stuff there. I know it's spring, but still getting a little winter stuff back there maybe. So I actually would like that. And I want to see Foxwoods. I've seen it on TV 1,000 times.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it live.
Yeah,
So,
me too. Yeah, well, and Mohegan Sun.
And I
keep listening to, all these other podcasts, guys, Vito and Eric and everybody who lives out there who go there fairly frequently, and they're talking about how big it is and, so.
We feel left out.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what it is.
This has been a long time coming.
We need to do this.
Yeah. All right, thanks for listening.
Good night.
Mark, that was wonderful. I had no idea you were so talented. The audience is going to love you.